I got broads in Atlanta. Just to lean the family. Credit cards and the scammers.
I'd like to start out today where we left off on September the 13th, although this is a new meeting. But I was anticipating a lot of motions from the minority, and we did have some motions for the minority. But if you remember, I said that
to subpoena at the very least Mark Judge before we move to vote. It is our constitutional duty to do everything we can to uncover the truth after hearing yesterday that compelling testimony from Dr. Blasey Ford, and we cannot in good conscience vote without hearing at least from Mark Judge. I would submit with all due respect, Mr. Chairman, that there are other witnesses essential for us to hear from. We should hear from the other sexual assault survivors who have come forward with credible and powerful stories, and that will be also, in my view, necessary. But today I am moving that we subpoena Mark Judge.
before we vote, I will read a letter that we received from Mark Judge last night. As I stated in my attorney, Barbara Van Gelder, September 18th, 2018 letter, I did not ask to be involved in this matter, nor did anyone ask me to be involved. We've told the committee that I do want to comment about, when I told the committee that I do not want to comment about these events publicly. As a recovering alcoholic and a cancer survivor, I have struggled with depression and anxiety. As a result, I avoid public speaking. Brent Kavanaugh and I were friends in high school, but we have not spoken directly in several years. I do not recall the events described by Dr. Ford in her testimony before the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee today. I never saw Brett act in a manner Dr. Ford describes. I am knowingly submitting this letter under penalty of felony. Mark Judge, witnessed by Barbara Van Gelder, and he has signed it.
Mr. Chairman, if I may respond.
On the motion?
Yes, on the motion. If I may respond, that letter is no substitute for an FBI interview.
The answer is no.
Mr. Graham.
And it is no substitute for testimony before this committee.
Mr. Lee. No. Mr. Cruz. No. Mr. Sass. No. Mr. Flake. No. Mr. Crapo. Mr. Tillis. No. Mr. Kennedy. No. Mrs. Feinstein.
Aye.
Mr. Leahy.
Aye.
Mr. Durbin.
Aye.
Mr. Whitehouse.
Aye.
Ms. Klobuchar.
Aye.
Mr. Coons.
Aye.
Mr. Blumenthal.
Aye.
Ms. Hirono.
Aye.
Mr. Booker.
Aye.
Ms. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman.
No.
Mr. Chairman, the votes are 10 yeas, 11 nays.
The motion is defeated. Now I move, as I said I was going to do, that we set the vote to report out Judge Kavanaugh's nomination at 1:30 p.m. today.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
Mr. Gray.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Wait.
Sorry, I can't hear.
That's violating the rules of the committee.
Yes.
Mr. Lee. Mr. Cruz. Mr. Sass.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is.
Mr. Flake. Mr.
Ram
Crapo.
job continues.
Mr. Tillis. Mr. Kennedy. Mrs. Feinstein.
No.
Mr. Leahy.
No, because it violates the customs of this committee.
Mr. Durbin.
It violates them.
No.
Mr. Durbin. Mr. Whitehouse.
No.
Ms. Klobuchar.
No.
Mr. Coons.
No.
Mr. Blumenthal.
No.
Ms. Hirono.
I strongly object. This is just totally ridiculous. What a railroad job. Answer is no.
Mr. Booker. Ms. Harris. Ms. Harris.
They're not not answering because this is so unfair, Mr. Chairman.
Breaks our rules and constitution.
Mr. Chairman.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the votes are 11 yeas and 8 nays.
Okay, motion carried. I'll go to my opening statement now. We have an agenda with 10 judges who are ready to be voted on. Brent Kavanaugh nominated to the Supreme Court. Jonathan Kobus nominated the 8th Circuit and 8 district court judges. We also have 2 bills on the agenda. We will hold over S 3178, the Justice for Victims of Lynching Act. We will vote on S 2785, the DTARE Act, sponsored by Senators Durbin and Graham. This bill combats offensive election interference by foreign adversaries by denying entry to any foreign national who has been deemed to engage in election interference. The amendment I'll be introducing makes clear that the Secretary of Homeland Security will make this decision on who has engaged in election interference in a consultation with the Attorney General, the Director of National Intelligence, and the Secretary of State. Any foreign national who engages or conspires to engage in improper interference in our elections should not be allowed to enter our country under any circumstances.